And good evening, everyone. You should be getting sound now. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Vaughan. It's been a while since we're on here. It's just due to the fact we've tried to do a live PWNage on Google Hangouts, and it didn't work so well. We almost got shut down. Yes, I do know there's no sound, everyone. It will come in a second. Just to let everyone know, tonight's no calls or any of that, so we don't need to go through the legal disclaimers for, if you want to call in on that. Just to let everyone know, this show is public domain. Feel free to copy and distribute it, and as also with regards to the material we're using tonight, we are using it under the fair use provision of copyright law, and we are using it in a transformative way for the purposes of criticism. And with that, I'll introduce a very much reduced panel. We've had a few dropouts this week, but we'll get there hopefully with what's to come. Introducing the New World Order. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Yeah, that's good.
For now.
Yeah, well, you know the NWO, it's never happy with anything. And also, Big Pharma, what are you up to?
Hi there, they're doing fantastic. Would anyone like any drugs?
I think we'll...
some Vicodin, some, maybe some Viagra.
I think we might get back to you on that one. I think it's very likely we'll be demanding some drugs by the end of this. Yep. So, just to let everyone know, this is the live PWNage, where we take a look at some of the more fanciful documentaries out there with regards to pseudoscience, creationism and all that. And we have a critical look at it. So what will happen is the movie will play, and if any of us has any objections to it, we'll just shout the words, which you'll become very accustomed to over the next, I don't know how long this is going to take, but you'll hear the word stop a lot coming up. So... Are you ready?
Please God, kill me now.
Yes. Tonight we are looking at a guy who's sort of well loved at the tool offices, the one and only Mike Health Ranger Adams, and his documentary, in the loosest possible terms, The God Within. So, without further ado, shall we begin, guys?
Well, I just like to add one little thing. Yeah. I've actually tried to watch this in order to do my own PWNage of it, and I rage quit after about 10 minutes and gave up. Yeah. So that should set the standards for how bad this is.
From what I've seen, we're going to get a very angry Marty because there's some serious abuse of physics in this.
Yeah.
This is coming from a guy who has made I don't know how many videos on spirit science, so this is going to be hilariously stupid if he can't hack 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, okay, the build-up's probably killing our audience, so let's get started.
The God Within. Physics, cosmology, consciousness, and the search for truth. I've always admired physicists. They seek answers by asking questions of nature, and when they follow a rigorous scientific approach to the quest for knowledge, they refuse to be sidelined by dogma, personal belief, or trickery. Science, in its most pure form, is about the search for truth. I'm not referring to the bastardization of science by modern corporations which
Stop.
The language
Is that laughter?
Corporations. When corporations use science, they need it to work because they want to make a profit at the end of it. They're not going to invest in research that doesn't work.
I was going to say, I couldn't tell if that was laughter or tears that you were going through
this.
All right.
Somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Science to push a kind of intellectual tyranny involving for-profit GMOs, vaccines,
Stop!
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, oh my God.
There are no words.
Science isn't... Yeah. Science is not a tyranny in any sort of way. You get found out really, really, really easy if you have shit results. That's why any anti-GMO paper, for example, the recent retracted Serlani paper, gets found out pretty goddamn fast. In fact, I remember when that paper came out, the next day Nature had an article basically rebutting the entire paper.
Mm-hmm. But that was never reported by anyone. Anyway,
anyone serious?
Yeah.
Except for maybe the Young Turks, but Jesus, they're bad on GMOs.
Okay, shall we carry on?
Oh, yes.
Sure.
I'm talking about pure, non-corporate driven science and the quest for human understanding.
Stop. Well, no, not really.
All right.
I just wanted to comment that, yeah, that non-corporate driven science is usually done in universities, and all of them pretty much say that you're full of crap.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But I've found the most fertile ground for exploration in the fields of quantum physics.
Stop!
Just stop.
Oh, this is going to take forever. This is going to take forever.
You know when you hear the word quantum physics in one of these videos, you know where they're going straight away, and you know it's not going to be nice.
He's going to start talking about consciousness and oh man. Just get on with it.
And the study of consciousness.
I hate being right.
Physicist Stephen Hawking and co-author Leonard Mlodinow. As a fan of Hawking's work over the years, I relished the idea of reading his explanations of the theory of everything, the grand design, the invisible hand behind it all.
What?
In his book, however,
the invisible hand? What? No.
I think what he was implying was he was hoping that Hawking was, going to come out in favour of intelligent design or something like that. He obviously just...
Hawking an atheist?
He's never explicitly said it, but he basically is. I mean, a lot of the things he said, it would be a huge, massive surprise if he wasn't. He's never actually come out and said, no, I don't believe in God, but it's pretty much...
Well, he basically does say that. Well, he's one of those people who say he can't say that God doesn't exist, but he can definitely say that God is not necessary.
But he does refer to God in some of his books, but it is in a very
metaphorically.
Yeah, it's kind of almost like the way Einstein used to do.
Yeah.
However, rather surprised me. On the very first page of the book, I found myself quite disappointed in the apparent lack of understanding of the universe from...
Stop.
Yes.
Did he really just say that Stephen Hawking does not understand, or really doesn't have, lacks understanding?
Yep. Mike Adams is kind of claiming he knows better than Hawking on this subject.
Yeah. Is he really going to do that? Is he really that arrogant?
Yeah.
Evidently.
Yes, he is.
I think we can sum this up as the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yeah.
Maxed to the extreme.
Oh, yeah.
As intellectually capable as Hawking. As you'll soon see, his words reflect what can only be called the great failing of modern-day physics to address the meaning behind the math. Far too many mainstream physicists seem stuck in what can only be called the Newtonian era of consciousness.
What? What?
What?
The study of consciousness is in neuroscience. Or psychology, or philosophy.
Physics.
And no one is stuck in the Newtonian era of anything. Except maybe high school students who haven't gotten further than that.
But, as I understand, Newton's laws are still useful at some levels.
Yeah, sure, but no one believes that they are, the end all.
Yeah, everyone kind of
everyone knows that they're only an approximation that is useful when things are big enough and slow enough.
Yeah. And like I say, and it's been updated since then. We do have relativity, and Big Pharma's gone down there, as you can all see. So I'm just left with a new world order here, so we'll get through it.
Yeah.
Okay, carry on.
They don't yet grasp the idea that consciousness exists at all.
Okay, we'll have to stop there. They don't grasp the idea consciousness exists at all.
I think, therefore, I am conscious.
Yeah, I think pretty much scientists do accept consciousness exists. It's pretty difficult to deny that fact. I mean, if Lundy was here, he could probably get into, like, the hardcore, physics. Oh god, I've lost my train of thought already. This phone's causing me. No, but like a hardcore philosophical arguments, they could probably argue about exists. But like, it pretty much does exist. We know that, don't we? And we're back, I think. I think we'll just wait for the chat room to confirm. Please,
Yeah, there we go.
someone in the chat room say chemtrails, if you can hear us. We want chemtrails now. We need chemtrails.
There's a delay. There we go.
We're getting chemtrails. That's awesome. Okay.
And that's about to be quote mined.
Yeah, we're going to be quote mined. All right. Sorry, everyone. I don't know. I don't know.
There was a server glitch, apparently. Something went wrong with
The
Vaughn
stupid killed
temporarily.
Well, we've got the New World Order and Big Pharma on the show here, so it's got to be one of you wanted this closed down for some reason.
I think it was the Illuminati.
All right. Oh yeah.
We're both here, so we're busy.
Yep. They feel a bit shunned by not being invited on. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we did invite them. I mean, they just said they had some things to do. Maybe they were talking about this. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. We didn't lose anything because I think we kind of paused just as everything went doolally there. So shall we continue?
Yeah, we'll just have to say that you missed a few seconds, but they will be in the upload.
Yep, they'll be in the recording. So let's carry on.
Or free will, or the spooky connectedness that has been experimentally demonstrated to exist between all things in the universe.
Stop. Not between all things. The spooky connectedness that he's talking about is quantum entanglement, which is not between all things. It's between pairs of entangled particles. Yep. Which only works at the quantum scale, by the way, because as soon as things get... two entangled particles move too far away from each other, they will start interacting with other things, and then the connection between them will break anyway. Yeah, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
And just as an announcement, I've had a PM from the Vaughn mods, and they said it was the main server went down. It was a glitch. So, well, thanks for updating us. So a lot of the other places we've tried streaming at wouldn't even bother to let you know that. So thanks very much, Vaughn.
Sure.
Thanks. Yeah, it's good. I'm being genuine here. I'm not being sarcastic. I know most people can't tell the difference. But all right, let's carry on.
Because that brings up too many questions that make conventional physicists uncomfortable. Questions about God, or the intersection of intention with the physical universe, or free will. They even have a name for their cover story. It's called the Copenhagen interpretation, and it can be summarized as...
That's not a cover story.
Yeah.
What is the Copenhagen
That's an explanation.
Okay, the Copenhagen interpretation basically is... I believe he's going to actually explain it himself, though. Shut up and do the math.
Yeah.
Just do the math, and you'll get an accurate prediction, and that's all that matters. That seems to imply that the observer collapses the wave function or something like that, which is really, really weird. It doesn't make any sense, from an intuitive perspective. It seems really weird, but don't bother explaining it. Just do the math and you'll see that it all works out in the end. And it does, and this is how you solve problems in quantum mechanics in, well, when you start dabbling with it in high school, when you start studying it in college. In fact, I've never had to apply anything but the Copenhagen interpretation to any problem myself, but it's not intellectually satisfying. That's the problem.
Yeah. Okay, carry on.
Yeah.
As shut up and calculate. The Copenhagen interpretation of quantum physics is essentially an intellectual security blanket under which physicists can focus on the narrow mathematics of their calculations without having to be bothered by the bigger questions that inevitably invoke the realm of philosophy.
Exactly. Stop.
Well, there's a reason that physicists don't want to do philosophy.
Exactly. The problem is that when you start looking at the implications of quantum mechanics that you can't actually address scientifically, of course you're going to go into philosophy, and there's sort of a gray zone there between science and philosophy, where philosophers don't know enough physics to deal with it, and physicists don't know enough philosophy to deal with it. But ultimately it doesn't matter in terms of what predictions we make with quantum mechanics.
Yeah.
Where Stephen Hawking's book begins, by the way. On page 1, he writes, "Philosophy is dead. Philosophy has not kept up with modern developments in science."
Hold on. 1 second. I'm just getting the book.
Yeah, and also I think there's a lot of people actually sort of disagreed with that statement by Hawking as well. Scientists.
I am almost certain that he's misquoting. Well, first of all, it's not on page 1. Page 1 is blank. The Mystery of the Being is what the chapter is called.
If you take page...
Let's see here. What was the quote?
Philosophy is dead.
Philosophy is dead.
Yeah, someone's saying it's actually in chapter 3. Anyway, I think we'll just carry on with the video.
That would explain chapter 3. That might explain it.
Yeah, I think we should carry on with the video because
live
book reading like this is...
I'll try to find it. I'm pretty sure he's misquoting anyway.
Yeah.
Particularly physics. Philosophy is dead? It's a stunning statement, not so much in its abruptness, but in its arrogance, which presumes that philosophy's success can only be measured by the degree to which it keeps up with physics.
I'm going to have to say one thing here. So that's just Hawking's opinion. It's not like there's plenty of other scientists who are very happy to work with philosophers, and we've had them on our show. Like there's Vic Stenger, there's Massimo Pigliucci, there was last week's guest Russell Blackford. There are plenty of them. I think, Mike Adams has found the one that kind of fits his agenda here. And sorry, I almost called him Hovind. Sorry, Stephen. You better run me over with your wheelchair.
You just sign your own death sentence.
Yes, you can run me over with your wheelchair at your leisure for that one, I think. But no, like Hawking, he's probably not. I think he's not that philosophically minded. He is a brilliant physicist, but he's not a good philosopher. And there are some, like I said, Vic Stenger. He's a great physicist and philosopher.
Correct. And I'm sorry, I can't find the quote now.
Yeah, I think we'll just leave the quote.
But anyway, what I do remember is that the context of it was philosophy is dead in the context of learning about, what is the universe or something like that. Philosophy has stopped providing useful answers, and physics keeps shitting out useful answers. That's what he's referring to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I can't find it right now. I apologize.
Right, let's carry on.